on government funding. That's why the Miller Brewing Company is proud to be the sole sponsor of the U.S. Olympic Training Centers. With these centers and a lot of hard work, our team can take on anybody, no matter what they spend.
24-year-old Eric Heiden, the first winter athlete to win 5 gold medals in one Olympics.
From Washington, this has been World News Sunday. Tomorrow, watch World News Tonight with Peter Jennings for the day's top story. World News Sunday is a presentation of ABC News. This is ABC.
Just ahead on Eyewitness News at 5:30, news to delight every Viking fan.
Oh, those Vikes enjoyed their Sunday down on the bayou. Next stop, San Francisco.
Also at 5:30, we'll look at what Twin Cityans are doing to arm themselves against the latest trend in crime, car theft. And take care of your chimney or wood-burning stove. We'll give you some tips that could save your life.
Prepared to be chilled to the bone tonight, I'll tell you about the Arctic wave over Minnesota.
Those stories and much more coming up next on Eyewitness News at 5:30.
Now, what could the New Year and a Big Mac possibly have in common? Give up? Big Mac sandwiches are now 88 cents, but for a limited time only, and only after 4 p.m. So hurry in before we're all partied out.
It's a good time for the great taste of McDonald's.
The Dodge America plan on selected 87 Dodge cars and trucks clearly makes sense for the way America buys. You proved it. We've expanded it to include most every 87 car and truck in stock. 7.7%, 48-month financing, plus $770 toward your down payment, plus our $770 protection plan. You get all three. The Dodge America plan. It makes sense for the way America buys. Now on selected 88s in stock, choose 7.7 financing or 770 cash at your Dodge dealer.
When Sarah lost her sight in a car accident 2 years ago, she settled for what she thought was enough money to get her through life. She didn't use a lawyer. Because she settled for what she did then, she has to settle for this now. The law firm of Pritzker & Meyer doesn't have to tell you that life can be unfair, just what to do when it is. If you've been hurt in a car accident, call Pritzker & Meyer at 333-7151. Personal injury cases handled on a percentage basis. There is no fee unless there is recovery.
You're watching KSTP-TV, Minnesota's News Channel 5.
Live from Minnesota's News Channel, KSTP Channel 5. Mike Binkley, Karen Balloon, and Mark Stevens bring you Eyewitness News.
The Saints came marching in today, supposedly ready to beat the Minnesota Vikings on their home turf down in New Orleans. But their prayers were never answered. The Vikings put them to shame with a win that steers the Vikes another step down the path to the Super Bowl. Hello, everyone. No doubt about it, it's been a super Sunday for the Minnesota Vikings. Probably their best game of the year.
Maybe their best game in a few years. I think it's time, this guy included, let's give him some notice. No more talk about backing in. They belong where they are. Sure, the Saints may have come marching in, but it was the Vikings who marched out of the Superdome with the NFC wildcard win. For 16 weeks, we've been waiting, and today I think we finally saw what the Vikings are capable of. 44-10. That's the score over them Saints. Now, the Saints were supposed to have a huge advantage on the Vikes on special teams, but Anthony Carter gave us a special effort in the first quarter. Just watch all the moves, and the rest of this thing's easy. 84-yard punt return for the touchdown. That's an NFL playoff record. The Vikings were ahead for good at 10-7, but they really put this one away on a free play at the end of the first half. A penalty gave the Vikes a free down. Wade Wilson shuffled with Tommy Kramer and just aired it out. Now, off of the scramble, Hassan Jones will be the one coming down with it, and the Saints were through. 31-10 was the score at the half, 44-10 in the end. No backing in today, just full steam ahead.
When we came here, there were 50 people that believed we should be here. And the hell with everybody else. You know, it's a harsh term, but we've been getting bad press all week, and there's been people that have been downplaying why we're in the playoffs and the fact that we shouldn't be here. And, you know, we felt all along that we deserved to be here, and we showed everybody that we belong here. And, you know, we've got to guard against getting too high and maybe letting this game have too much of an effect on us. But it was, like I said, regardless of the score, it was a situation where everybody played well.
Everybody, practically perfect. The road to the Super Bowl now goes through San Francisco. That's where the Vikes play in one of the NFC divisional playoffs. Next Saturday at Candlestick Park, the Niners have the best record in football, and they're the favorites to win the Super Bowl. But remember, the Saints had the second best mark in football. And I guess we know who that is now.
Yeah, we do. I'll tell you what, this win sure put a lot more enthusiasm into the fans around the Twin Cities. A few have been out celebrating this afternoon, but earlier on, there were quite a few skeptics. At the start of the game, it was only out of boredom that the man at work here tuned in the Vikings game.
Plenty of distance. It is good. He's buried a 42-yarder, and the Vikes are back in it with 8:01 to go here in the first quarter.
You see how excited that first field goal got him.
Raging Cajuns are a bit flat here under the Superdome as the Vikings go 2 yards.
It's going to be close. Stabilizer bar.
They have a slight chance.
But suddenly, in front of TV sets around the Twin Cities, fans found themselves cheering even more. It's pretty surprising, isn't it?
Oh, you bet, but it's great.
At appliance stores, random screams and hollers would suddenly erupt, and the salespeople would lose their customers to the TV section.
Even if you're talking to them out of a cassette deck or a CD player, they quick turn around and walk over to the television, and there's a big group around, and everybody cheers, and they come walking back, and they say, gee, I'm really sorry, I'm interested in this, but the Vikings just scored a touchdown. So it's been pretty fun. People are really getting into it.
That includes the salespeople themselves, because with 150 TV sets, it's pretty hard to keep your eyes off.
I go back and forth from the big ones, the little ones, the ones with the volume on. I gotta keep sticking around them. I can't get away.
They threw a Vikings party with pretzels, chips, and hot dogs here at Jukebox Saturday night. One woman brought a touchdown towel, but not all were avid fans. You're really thinking that the Vikings would win this game when you came here today?
No, I was here for the free food. And the free beer.
Whatever the case, the Vikings were a happy bonus, and in the end, fans were suddenly confident again.
I knew they were going to win. I had confidence. They are the best team ever.
I think they'll go all the way. They'll be number one.
Well, the Vikings should be on their way back by now, and tonight on the update, we'll bring you the scene from the airport as they return. Well, if you took a breather from this afternoon's football excitement and stepped outside, you may have felt the chill of the Arctic front stealing over Minnesota. It's a chilling reminder of what a Minnesota winter can be like. Pull those extra blankets from the closet because this could be one of the coldest nights of the winter. Karen Falloon joins us now to tell us just how far temperatures will dip around the state. Karen?
Mike, I could tell you that it would be the coldest night tonight, but I'm afraid that's not true. We have two other nights, Monday night and Tuesday night, where we could be talking about near record cold for the Twin Cities area. Now, for tonight, that very cold Arctic air is on its way. Temperatures have been falling since early this afternoon, and tonight's lows will be below zero as far south as Cedar Rapids, all the way into the Central Plains, in the teens and 20s generally across Minnesota. The area of 20s below zero is headed this way. That should give you an idea. Advisories tonight for wind chills across northern Minnesota and all of North Dakota. And I'll be back with our forecast, Mike, in just a couple of minutes.
All right, Karen, see you in a bit. The cold weather may have played a part in a house fire that killed 4 people near Mankato yesterday. Fire officials believe the fire may have started in the chimney of a wood-burning stove. Dave Andrews reports fire officials are once again stressing safety tips as more and more families begin using their wood stoves and fireplaces this winter.
Many Twin Cities families may now be firing up their wood stoves or fireplaces for the first time this winter. Wood stoves can help keep down your heating bill during frigid periods like this one, but fire officials say they can also be dangerous unless properly installed and operated.
It should be away from any combustible materials. The chimney has to have a area around it so that it won't heat up the surrounding area. These metal chimneys have to be particularly careful because once they get heated up, they have a tendency to warp, and then the next time it could cause a fire.
With fireplaces, one of the biggest hazards is a buildup of creosote in the chimney. The creosote can ignite inside the chimney, and that can lead to a major house fire.
Yeah, I believe that's probably the most common problem, and that also can be caused by burning too many softwoods. They should try to burn hardwoods, and they should probably get their chimneys cleaned at least once a year. Twice a year would be better.
The bottom line is that wood-burning stoves and fireplaces can be safe here in Minnesota during the wintertime, but they're only as safe as the people who are operating them. In St. Louis Park, I'm Dave Andrews, Channel 5, Eyewitness News.
Here's another danger you'll want to protect yourself against, a growing number of car thefts. Coming up, we'll tell you what Twin Cityans are doing to ward off car thieves. And the leader of Minnesota's largest Lutheran church steps down. The story in our look at Sunday's People when we come back.
Amber's $1.99 jumbo breakfast. 2 farm fresh eggs, 2 buttermilk pancakes, 2 country sausage links, and 2 strips of hardwood cured bacon, only $1.99. Embers, big taste, small check.
It's the Water Bedroom's New Year's weekend sale. Through Monday at 9 p.m., receive 6-month interest-free financing and no payment until July with no down payment. Plus, save on all water beds, bedroom furniture, and our new selection of day beds, white iron and brass beds, all at introductory sale prices. Don't miss the Water Bedroom's New Year's weekend sale with no payment and no interest until July. Through Monday at 9 p.m. at all Twin City and Rochester Water Bedroom superstores.
Head-to-head, side-by-side, one-on-one. The all-new 88 Bigfoot, plus 11 of the country's wildest monster trucks, trampling their way through St. Paul Civic Center Arena this Friday and Saturday as Chevrolet presents the Stroh's Monster Truck Winter Nationals. 12 motorized giants plus ATV racing, part of the Redman TNT Motorsports Series. Tickets at the box office and area Dayton's department stores.
I didn't get the piano I wanted for Christmas, but that's okay.
This Friday through Monday, Schmidt's huge New Year's weekend warehouse sale.
I'm celebrating the new year by saving on my piano.
Over 600 pianos gathered from all 18 Schmidt stores. Used pianos, new grands, and savings on every Kawai vertical and grand in stock.
This weekend only, Schmidt's warehouse sale.
Plus a great selection of organs and keyboards. Take 694 to Shingle Creek in Brooklyn Center, left at Freeway Boulevard.
Call or see your paper for details.
Police have now identified the victim of a South Minneapolis murder. They say 27-year-old Kevin Eastman died of massive head injuries. The medical examiner says Eastman's body was found at 1600 East 26th Street yesterday, and the injuries he suffered in an assault Friday night led to his death. Police are holding a juvenile in connection with the case. This is the first homicide of the new year in Minneapolis. Well, here's a crime statistic that may surprise you. 1 out of every 59 cars in Minneapolis will be stolen this year. This is expected to be another record year for the car thieves. As John Wingate reports, consumers are now taking action to protect their cars.
When Bob Bossert parks his late model import these days, he does more than just lock the door. He arms it for the battle against crime. Bob has joined the ranks of drivers who've installed car alarms. If a thief targets his car, here's what happens. Other alarms are even more sensitive. A simple touch will set them off. The number of cars equipped with these alarms is on the rise. Alarm sales up nearly 30% nationwide.
The biggest value to a car alarm is the deterrent effect. Realistically, if somebody wants a car, there are things that can be done to remove your car.
More than half of all the cars stolen in Minnesota are taken in the metro area. In Minneapolis, auto theft is up 16%. That's prompting more motorists to invest a few $100s in an alarm. But police say even that won't stop a good car thief.
They can always find a way. There's nothing that's perfect. About the only way you could probably eliminate auto theft is have all your cars hanging from the air, and they'd probably find a way to get at them, too.
Police expect this to be another record year for car thefts. There's evidence that more cars stolen in Minnesota are being stripped for parts by theft rings operating in Chicago, St. Louis, and Detroit. The alarm industry is expected to reap the benefits of this crime wave, but remember, an alarm will only slow down a car thief and hopefully make him pick another target. John Wingate, Channel 5 Eyewitness News.
A baffling story that we first told you about last fall continues to unfold in Duluth. It involves a German sea captain who was sailing this ship through Lake Michigan on his way to Duluth when he disappeared. Investigators say their latest questioning has failed to tell them whether Captain Frederick Helling jumped, fell, or was pushed overboard. The search for his body continues. Minnesota's first double lung transplant patient leads our look at Sunday's People. 44-year-old Keith Papacek of Bismarck, North Dakota, remains in critical but stable condition tonight. Papacek underwent the surgery Friday at the University of Minnesota hospitals. Doctors remain concerned that his body will reject the organs. They say they have special drugs to counter any problems. Minnesota Attorney General Hubert H. Humphrey III is in Moscow tonight for a conference on young American and Soviet leaders. Humphrey, who's running for the U.S. Senate, says it's important for leaders at all levels to gain a broader understanding of superpower relations. The pastor of the second-largest Lutheran church in America is retiring. Pastor William Heilengren is stepping down from 31 years at Zion Lutheran Church in Anoka. He's been a Lutheran minister for a total of 50 years. During his tenure, his church grew from a congregation of 700 to more than 7,000. Instead of going up, temperatures are on their way down across Minnesota, and it's having a chilling effect. The forecast just ahead with Karen Falloon. And we'll show you what kind of house you can create if you put your mind to it. Stay with us.
What burns calories faster than jogging? What's easier than cycling? What's the #1 fitness exercise in the world? It's cross-country skiing. Now, there's a cross-country skiing simulator that firms and tones the entire body and puts total fitness in easy reach of everyone. It's called Easy Glider, and it's the first ski simulator that's easy to afford. Just 20 minutes every other day. An hour a week is all it takes to strengthen and firm all major muscle groups and lose weight aerobically. Step on the glider pads. Set the tension control for desired resistance, and you're off on a road to fitness as invigorating as a cross-country run. With Easy Glider, you'll burn up to 400 calories per workout, and you'll feel great. Your reward is total fitness, improved endurance and energy, weight loss, superior toning of chest, arms and back, calves, thighs, and buttocks. The smooth, fluid gliding action means there's none of jogging shocks or injuries. And unlike exercise bikes or jogging, all of your muscles get an efficient workout. Notice the quality construction of the sturdy metal frame. This handsome unit folds down quickly for easy storage. Other ski simulators give your wallet a workout because they cost as much as $500. But Easy Glider is just $59.95, and your satisfaction is absolutely guaranteed. Finally, the benefits of cross-country skiing are in easy reach with Easy Glider. Grab the bargain. Call toll-free now.
To order your Easy Glider, call 1-800-248-7400. That's 1-800-248-7400. Use your credit card to avoid COD charges or send check or money order for $59.95 plus $9 shipping and handling to Easy Glider, Department 38, Canton, Ohio, 44750. That's the Easy Glider, Department 38, Canton, Ohio, 44750. But for faster service, call 1-800-248-7400.
The travel rush is winding down now as people return home from the holidays. At Twin Cities International Airport, passengers were able to board their planes a lot quicker this weekend than a week ago. The snowstorm in Denver had snarled travel schedules then. And so far, all seems to be going well with the government's new carry-on restrictions. They allow fewer carry-ons as a measure to heighten safety. Tell you what, those who are flying in from the Sun Belt are in for quite a shock when they step out of the terminal.
Our Vikings included.
Exactly.
They'll get a warm reception from the fans, though.
Oh, yeah.
Now, we do have advisories across northern Minnesota, and I wanted to just take another moment to look at those. The advisories are as far south as Alexandria, Little Falls, Brainerd, Duluth, so the northern half of the state and all of North Dakota. And this is mainly for wind chills tonight, although there will be some blowing snow and limited visibilities in the Red River Valley area in northwestern Minnesota. But the wind chills are expected to range from 40 below to 65 below zero. Here in the Twin Cities, our wind chills will be anywhere from 45 to 55 below zero. And what that means is if you have respiratory ailments, cover your mouth, make sure that you have mittens instead of gloves, wear coats, boots, and remember to cover your head. Simply all it means is take care to conserve your body heat. Now, the cold air is on the way. It's up in Canada, in the teens and 20s below zero up there in central Canada. And this cold air is plummeting southward. As you saw on the lows map from earlier, the temperatures will be in the 20s below zero across northern Minnesota. For us here, we remained above zero this morning. Officially, our overnight low was 7 degrees above and 19 for the high. This may be the last day for almost a week that we'll see temperatures above zero. No precipitation of any kind. Right now, we have partly cloudy, 11 degrees, the dew point 2 below, and the relative humidity 55%. Winds are out of the west at 17 miles an hour, and the pressure is on the rise. Now, satellite pictures showing a mass of clouds along the Gulf Coast area, some moderate to heavy rains along Alabama, Georgia, Florida. This little patch that zips from northeastern Texas to the Ohio Valley, that's all snow. They've had some snow in Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, and southern Illinois. On the national radar, that's still occurring across portions of the mid-Mississippi Valley. They've had a mixture of sleet, rain, and snow in the Carolinas. There's a storm system brewing along the eastern coastline, and that's going to move up the coast. They're expecting 1 to 5 inches of snowfall in the forecast for portions of the Northeast on into the New England states. Across the upper Midwest, we have a strong high pressure building in, and that will continue to bring cold air in here, not just tonight. Our high tomorrow will remain below 0, 5 below. We may see a few clouds and a few flurries. That cold air that's plummeting southward will just squeeze any amount of moisture we have in the atmosphere, and we'll see flurries. Now, out to the west, another storm system. We're not the only ones with cold. There is a storm moving some very heavy rains across California with snow in the central Rockies. For the metro area tonight, we have windy and colder with overnight lows 10 below to 16 below 0. Our wind chills will range from 45 to 55 below, and the winds from 20 to 30 miles an hour will continue right through the day tomorrow. When we wake up, it will be around 12 below 0, 50 below. The wind chill the rest of the day, variable cloudiness, a few flurries possible, bitter cold. Our highs tomorrow, 8 below to 2 below 0, and those wind chills will range from 40 to 50 below throughout the day. On Monday night, colder still with 24 below to 18 below the overnight temperatures. We could be talking near record cold, and highs will remain below 0 on Tuesday. Looking ahead, icy sunshine on Wednesday in the 20s below 0 again to start out the day, and we will finally see 0 or better back in the forecast for Friday afternoon.
Good. You say that so calmly. 24 below. Wow, I can't take it.
I have to be calm here.
Still ahead in sports. More on that big Vikings march against the Saints in New Orleans. Mark Stevens has the highlights and reaction next on Eyewitness Sports.
Amber's $1.99 jumbo breakfast. 2 farm fresh eggs, 2 buttermilk pancakes, 2 country sausage links, and 2 strips of hardwood cured bacon, only $1.99. Embers, big taste, small check.
My new shirt. Mom's gonna kill me. No problem. That's what washing machines are for, right? Right.
Another unreported stain. You know, the kind your family doesn't tell you about till it's through the dryer and set for life. That's why you should add Biz Bleach to every wash load to find many unreported stains and lift them up and away. Even though unreported stains have a way of slipping into your wash, they can't get by Biz.
I said last night that I was optimistic about this game, but I sure didn't expect a 34-point win.
They opened a lot of eyes. The first couple of minutes, you may have said, oh, here we go. Exactly. And then all of a sudden, I tell you, the folks in New Orleans are no longer saying who dat about the team that played their Saints. They're now saying who dat team that whooped them Saints. Vikings came up with a host of big plays today. They buried the host Saints in the NFC wildcard game, 44-10 the final. Vikings now head to San Francisco. It's a lot warmer than here. They're ready for Game 2 of the playoffs. Things didn't start so swell in the old Superdome today. Tommy Kramer fumbled the second snap of the game, and New Orleans turned it into 7 on this Bobby Hebert to Eric Martin touchdown pass. 7-0, Saints had the lead early. Things didn't get any better on the second series. A low snap from center. TK falls on it, but Tommy re-injured himself, left the game, and it was once again time to bring on Wade Wilson. The Vikings made it 7-3 on the first of 3 Chuck Nelson field goals, and still in the first quarter, watch this punt return by Anthony Carter. AC turns on the juice, goes 84 yards for the score. That is an NFL playoff record. Just a huge day for Anthony Carter and the Vikes. Second quarter, Wade Wilson will dump it off here to Darren Nelson, and Nelson has some fancy footwork. He'll take it all the way down to the Saints' 1-yard line. Now, a penalty moved the Vikings back, but a couple of plays later, it's Wilson at the quarterback. Watch this. A bullet to Steve Jordan in a crowd. 5-yard touchdown gave them a 17-7 lead in the second quarter. But there was much more before the half was over. How about this? Allen Rice, the halfback, option pass. to Anthony Carter for the touchdown, made it 24-7. But the play that really deflated the Saints came with no time left in the half. The penalty gave the Vikes a free play, and it would prove costly to New Orleans. Wilson's Hail Mary comes down in the arms of Hassan Jones in the end zone, made it 31-7 in the half. It was the last pass Wilson would throw. He was shaken up on an earlier play, didn't play in the second half. TK came back in and led the Vikes to 13 second-half points, but they really didn't need him because the defense had an awesome day, forcing 6 turnovers, 4 interceptions. The Vikings snapped the Saints' 9-game winning streak. They move on in the playoffs with a big 44-10 win over New Orleans.
We had a lot of good things happen to us today, but we made those things happen to us, too. You know, that squadron pass there at the end of the first half, people call that a lucky break, but that's something we work on. The punt team and the punt return team did a lot of extra duty this week, and that really paid off. You know, I think we made our own breaks today.
They were no slouches or anything like that. I think we were simply able to exploit their defensive secondary. In fact, I remember hearing something during the course of the week where they said that they didn't need to double AC. And, you know, you look at what AC did today, and I think in retrospect maybe they might want to change their minds, but you can't take it back now.
You can bet they'll double team them in the future. Today's game has kind of heated up the Vikings quarterback controversy again, but hey, who cares as long as they're still playing football? Jerry Burns said after the game he doesn't know who'll start when the Vikings face the 49ers in San Francisco on Saturday. Now, the other NFC divisional playoff has Chicago hosting Washington. That one's on Sunday. The winners will meet in the NFC Championship game the following week. The AFC side of the wild card is being decided right now in Houston. Good game in the fourth quarter, and Houston is leading Seattle 20-13. Well, the polls made it all official today. Miami is college football's national champion. The Canes knocked off previous #1 Oklahoma in the Orange Bowl on New Year's Day, and they captured all 57 of the first-place votes when the final AP poll came out this afternoon. The Canes were followed by Fiesta Bowl champ Florida State, then Oklahoma. Syracuse slips down to 4th with LSU up to 5. Nebraska slides down a few notches. Auburn settles for #7. Rose Bowl champion Michigan State gets the Big Ten in the top 10. UCLA and Texas A&M complete the final college football poll of the season. Well, they took care of BU last night. Tonight they'll try and do the same to BC. The Hockey Gophers will host Boston College tonight at Mariucci Arena. Last night the Gophers overcame a 3-2 deficit in the third period to beat Boston University. Peter Hankinson proved what scored to be the game winner as the Gophers won at 5-3. Minnesota's now 17-4 overall, 16-4 in the WCHA. Tonight's game with BC starts at 7:30. At Mariucci Arena. Some road duty for the Strikers. In fact, their game in Cleveland is already underway. They're in the first quarter out there, and they are scoreless. The Strikers go into the game at 9-9 after beating Baltimore 9-3 Friday night at the Met Center. Well, the Met Center last night saw the North Stars reach the midway point of the season, and the only way for them to go in the second half is up. James Patrick scored a pair of goals for the Rangers as the Stars solidified their hold on the Norris Division cellar with a 5-3 loss. They're now just 7 points, though, back up first place Detroit. So we don't have to dwell on the Stars' woes. Let's talk about the good stuff that goes with the Vikings.
Exactly. Now off to San Francisco.
It'll be nice out there.
Well, now it's time to put on your thinking cap, fall back into your childhood, and imagine all the big houses along your street that you wished you could live in. The Minnesota Historical Society has been putting on a series of programs this afternoon that carry our imagination along a tour of great
Now
homes.
the front door opens right into the living room. No hall, blocking up traffic and wasting space. And we can put the TV right by the fireplace.
I see it, don't you? The program is called A House of Our Dreams. Each generation builds its dream house from its set of values. Once again, we may be approaching a record cold this week.
Yes, a couple of nights we may be near record cold temperature. I know it sounds silly, but we tell folks to dress warmly, yet every year we get calls on, you know, are these dangerous wind chills? Yes, they are. Our wind chills will range from 45 to 55 below zero tonight. Moan over here. Our overnight lows will range from 10 below to 16 below zero with colder temperatures in the middle of the week.
Well, we are approaching that danger zone.
Yes, we are.
Be sure to join us tonight for the update when Dr. Michael Breen tells us about a new trend among pharmacies in the Twin Cities, the disappearance of the independent pharmacist. What will happen to the care those pharmacists provide to anyone taking medication? That story in this Sunday's Vital Signs tonight. And come along with us as we take a ride on the Minnesota Zephyr. Passengers are wined and dined as they travel from Stillwater on this excursion, lulled by the chug, chug, chug of the train. That's Through the Lens on the update.